Wake up running on the sacred ground, searching the scrapyard for my dirty crown. I've been walking a very long time.
In the 1970s, there were no real, what we would call zoning codes for the city and the county. There was a lot of places that were, as they said it, unzoned. It was called in the zoning Zone A. Zone B were, I do believe, businesses, and Zone Z was residents, and then there was this big, huge Zone A that you could basically do anything you wanted to. And so in this process, the county actually was sued by the city to start zoning areas around so they could get inappropriate uses, land uses, away from other land uses. And I think the real big one has always been that you never want to have industrial operations next to residential homes.
So here we're standing in front of the Chico scrapyard on the inner side of Chapman Town, and if you look over here, this is a lot. This lot and many of the other lots that are surrounding the scrapyard are actually proposed for low-income housing development, and eventually the city is planning on annexing in portions of Chapman Town so that they can continue to develop this area. But the concern is that this scrapyard actually is housing lots of hazardous substances that are toxic to humans and animals, of course, so their streams and the environment, and so they're going to be developing right here next to a toxic site.
There are 13 habitat houses already built right along the back side on the new road that the city built for those houses right behind the scrap metal yard.
And when the wind blows, I'm most worried about that, the dust, because when you crush metal, it pulverizes into a fine powder that becomes airborne. And if that's lead, lead is one of the most toxic things to neurological development of children. So it can cause behavioral problems, lowered IQ.
There is a child's play set within 20 feet of the edge of the scrapyard. And I mean, it doesn't have to be toxic, ready to kill the kid next year to be an inappropriate use next to a kid's house. And so they're unwilling to move, and that's kind of the battle right now, is that we think that they should move. The junkyard must go.
So if they did move the scrapyard, there's a lot of people that say that this would actually eliminate a really good resource here in Chico for people to be able to access a place to recycle their goods and their waste.
If they are going to stay there, what should the requirements be? And in the code, the requirements actually for a facility like that in the city of Chico's code is that there needs to be a 6-foot vegetative buffer from the property line to a wall, and then to have a solid wall surrounding the entire place. And the whole idea of the vegetative buffer is the recognition that there's going to be dust and other stuff coming off the site, and theoretically the vegetation would catch that and it wouldn't drift all the way over. But of course that's not what they're having planned. I mean, what they have is a fence all the way up right to the edge of the property, and it's just a chain link fence. There was a referendum. It was signed by over 9,000 people. We only needed 7,000 signatures. And it was sent into the city, and now the city is suing Carl Ori, the guy who put the referendum together. I've never heard of a city suing a citizen for expressing their free speech rights, but that's exactly what's happening to Carl Ori right now. It's held up in court, but every time the city has done this or the county has done this, the courts have overturned it because the citizens have the right to vote on these things. And so that's where we stand. Hopefully in a few months we're going to figure this out. We'll move forward on the vote. I have no doubt the vote will be affirmative and the junkyard will go. It's a long fight, but those kids are worth it.
Sea of steel, I seen a golden glow, screaming the message anyone could know, like a walking translation on a street of lies, singing these scrapyard lullabies.